All right, so I fully understand that Kirby Dach, as of right now in the NHL, and especially even as a Montreal Canadian, the one preseason game that he's played, he hasn't shown like superstar flashes, okay? Like there was that one period of time during his rookie season that he looked very good, but apart from that, the kid really hasn't looked like anything more than a Jesperi Kotkaniemi. I fully understand that. However, I've mentioned it before and I'll mention it again. For Kent Hughes and this management group to put that much stock and give up that much capital to get Kirby Dach, they have to see something in him as a center for the future. Now, are they looking at him to eclipse Nick Suzuki to be the first-line center on the team? Absolutely not. Of course they're not doing that. They're looking at him to be David Krejci. Okay, they're looking at Bergeron to be Suzuki and Kirby Dach to be David Krejci when the Bruins were in their prime competing for Stanley Cups. That's what they want out of Kirby Dach. And honestly, for a guy who's a third overall pick, and again, like I said, in his rookie season, before it all went downhill, was looking pretty good, that's something that is still realistic for Habs fans and honestly, for him. I really do think that he probably thinks in his mind he could still be a star, right? And he's still young. He's in his early 20s. He was a third overall pick after all. Like, this isn't like Nolan Patrick we're talking about here, for example. Like, the poor kid, Nolan Patrick, I think his career is pretty much all but over, which is really sad to say for a young kid who had super high potential. He was drafted second overall by the Flyers. But as far as Kirby Dach goes, like, yes, right now, call him a bust all you want. And yeah, he does kind of look like a bust. I think if you've got your pro scouts, if you've got guys who are watching this kid play and they see something in him, if you've got Jonathan Toews coming out and saying how angry he is that the Chicago Blackhawks traded away Kirby Dach, these are guys who know. Like, there's a saying that Calgary Flames GM Brad Treliving always says here in Calgary. He says, the players know first. They know who's good, they know who's bad, they know who's worth getting signed, who's worth getting traded for. They know all of that first because they watch in and out. They know the intricacies better than pretty much anybody. So if Jonathan Toews, a guy who's been around the league for as long as he has, won as much as he has, was angry about Kirby Dach getting traded, and Kent Hughes out there basically trading Romanov and then the 13th overall pick for Kirby Dach. That's a lot. Like, that's a big price to pay for a guy. You're sticking your neck out. Remember, that draft was in Montreal in front of the home crowd. For them to put that much stock into Kirby Dach, he has to have something here. I'm really thinking that. And I would be shocked if he doesn't turn out to be at least a very good player. Honestly. Like, to me, and I get it. Same thing with KK. Everybody was talking about how they needed to hit on that draft pick. It was so important for the rebuild, and they didn't. I fully understand that. But I do think that Ken Hughes and this group, Jeff Gorton, helped rebuild the New York Rangers in a quick, speedy amount of time there. Like, they got rebuilt in record time, and they just come off a huge playoff run. And a lot of that team was built by Jeff Gorton. I feel like he really knows what he's doing. Same thing with Ken Hughes. I know he's a former agent. A lot of people are cooking him, calling him Caillou and stuff. I even did that myself. It's a little funny. But I do think the guy knows what he's talking about. Listen to him talk. Man, does he sound like an intellectual. He sounds like he's up to date with the times. He knows what it takes to succeed in modern hockey. And yes, it's a rebuild. You want young kids like this to learn and get mentored by guys like Sean Monahan down the middle, by guys like Christian Dvorak down the middle when they can. I fully understand that. But I really do think this could end up being a robbery for the Montreal Canadiens. And I've stuck my neck out a few times mentioning that. And one preseason game is not going to change my mind on that. I really do think this kid is going to end up being a very good player. Is he going to be a star? No. And that's why I like putting the David Krejci comparison there. Because Krejci, nobody's going to come out here and say David Krejci's a superstar. But also, every single team in the league in his prime would have taken David Krejci as their number 2, number 3 center. If you're a bad team, maybe number 1 center, but that's definitely, he'd be playing over his skis there. But I do think that Kirby Dach to aim to be a David Krejci type of player, that would be a huge win for the Montreal Canadiens. That would turn into a very, very good, solid player, and that would really help the Habs compete. That's how you be a competitor and a contender for years and years and years. You need a great 1-2 punch down the middle. You need Kuznetsov Backstrom. You need Crosby Malkin. You need McDavid Draisaitl, I guess. I know they load them up, Draisaitl on the wing, but for the most part, in Oilers land, they love to have McDavid, Draisaitl, and even Nugent Hopkins can pop up as a second-line center and do very well. You need that depth down the middle. Teams search for it. Why do you think the Flames went so hard for Nazem Kadri? Because they knew if they could have Lindholm, Kadri down the middle, that made them so much better, right? So, hey, this is just something that's part of the process. I want to see Kirby Dach grow and develop here. It's a developmental year for him. Is he going to score 60, 70 points? No, probably not. But if he can get a good 45, 50 points, 20 goals, improve in the faceoff circle, because that's the knock on him right now, and be good on the defensive side of the puck, I will be more than happy with this as a year for Kirby Dach's development. Get his confidence back. Show him he can play under the bright lights of Montreal. Of course, I want to hear what you guys think about this in the comments down below. You guys know I'm in Kirby Dach's corner. What about you? I want to hear it. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.